Hello, so my name is Andrea Hylen. I am the founder of Heal My Voice, and I am on an adventure with you and with Facebook Live where I am posting for 44 days of radio shows that were hosted in 2010 with the topic of transforming grief. So today is day 13 of 44 days. And I'm going to give you some information, a summary of the show for today. So the show, and I'll be posting the link up above in the description as soon as Facebook Live is complete. But the topic is about writing as a path to healing and creativity. So it is about connecting to that healing grief inside of you and to connect you to the transformation of creativity. A couple things that I talked about on the show. One is private writing. Two is writing your story with support. And then three is sharing your writing somewhere. So here's a few of the tidbits and a little bit of information. You know, private writing is something that I would say you're writing in a diary. You're writing in a journal. You might write things on your iPhone or even using your voice to record feelings, thoughts, ideas. You're writing this for yourself. Even though you might have a focus of writing to a person who you lost, writing to a dream that you had, and you want to have a conversation there. You want to share your feelings. Julia Cameron's book, The Artist's Way, is such a brilliant book of ideas and inspiration for really connecting with your writing and connecting with a spiritual path to creativity. One of the tips in her book is something called morning pages. And that is where you wake up in the morning and you write 3 pages in a journal. You just write. You're not trying to control the writing. Hi, Kathleen. So morning pages, I don't know if you've had experience with that, Kathleen, but writing where it's like a download. You're just going to write to get it out. It's like a way of, so meditation, for instance, people many times think of meditation as getting answers to questions, but actually meditation is about emptying, creating a container where you can, throughout your day, receive the ideas and receive connection and feel more alive. And so morning pages has that effect also with writing, where you just download, you just get it out. No one's going to read this except for you. Writing your story. So here's a couple things I want to share, and I went into this a little bit on the radio show, and I want to share a few tips here. When you write your story, you are connected to your story emotionally. There is a vulnerability in sharing your story. And so the biggest tip that I would say is to create support where you have some sort of container around you that makes it safe to really share this vulnerability for you. And it could be writing about feelings, about someone that you lost. It could be writing about a divorce. It could be writing about what it feels like to get older. But you could write about a physical illness. But there's a level of vulnerability. So one of the things that we've done in Heal My Voice in the 9-month program is that we become gentle readers for each other. And so some of the guidelines for a gentle reader, and you can look for this in your life, is asking someone to give you some feedback on your writing. But it is, what do they like, and what do they want to know more of? Where would they like you to be to be offering more information or be clearer. So it's not about, if you were to have a friend, for instance, or a family member read your writing, there's such a vulnerability in looking for approval of your life, approval of your words. And my experience when I was first sharing my writing with someone was someone who lovingly was critiquing it. But I felt like, oh my gosh, I've done it wrong. And I was trying to find my writer's voice. I had been a journal writer for 20 years. But to find the writer inside of me, to find my style, not what, for instance, if I were taking an English course, not what I would expect a professor to be telling me something about how to write, but this is like writing your voice, your experience. So having support that is gentle. The other thing, to even inspire you or to motivate yourself to write, I would really recommend that you create a ritual. Write at the same time every day. Write in the same place every day. Even if it's 5 minutes, even if you are writing, maybe it's like, I'm going to write 1 sentence every day. I'm going to write 1 page every day. And to just do that, because what it does is it begins to activate something in your brain where the writing begins to flow. And what I've noticed also when I've created ritual around writing, and I'm writing every day, it's like I'm making my cup of tea or coffee, and I'm walking to either my desk or coffee shop, because I've had experiences where I've written at the same coffee shop every day at the same time for a period of time. The words just start flowing. The ideas are there. You don't have to, it is a way of breaking through, for instance, a writer's block, where you're just going to write. You're just going to write every day. And then the other thing that I did when I wrote 70 articles that I posted on, it was like writing 70 blog posts in 2 months, is that I played music, a certain song, every day right as I was starting to write. And that will also activate it. So sounds, location, timing, the rituals. It could be lighting a candle. So find what the ritual is for you that works. And then the last thing I would say is that if you have a story that you're writing about grief or about a certain topic, and many of the writers who I've worked with have written memoirs or have written things around what I'd call trauma, loss, grief, life challenges, sharing their journey of what it looks like to live life. And there are places where, so for instance, I know that there's a place, and I talked about it on the show, and now I'm not remembering the exact wording of it, but it's an online grief support group where you can write your story in there. You can have a free account, and people write their stories. So that's another way of creating some safety around you, where it is a place where you can write. And nowadays, I mean, starting a blog, writing every day on your Facebook page, if you have a page where you feel safe enough to do that. So the other thing is, every January now, Heal My Voice offers a 30-day program on writing, everyday writing. And I post a long writer's prompt, like it isn't 1 sentence, but it's actually a quote, and there's information, something that will kind of stir the pot for you. And we're writing in community. So it's, there's stimulation from other people, either sharing their writing or sharing some inspiration. And then I'm going to lead a weekly teleseminar where people can call in and share ideas or talk about their experience. So I believe all writing is healing. Because whether or not you're writing about something you would call grief, you are tuning in to your soul, in a sense. Yeah, I mean, that's what it feels like to me. Like I'm tuning in to this inner voice inside of me that has something to say. And when we tune into that and bring our voice out into the world, a new awareness will connect you to your life. It's like you expand in a sense. So if you feel like you want to be in a group, I'm going to open up the Facebook group December 28th, and I'd love to see you in there. So I will post that link also. All right, so day 13 of 44 days of transforming grief, and I will be back tomorrow. Thanks for stopping by.